Hi everyone, Max here. So today we're finally getting some review for this channel, and thanks to best friend of mine who just called me yesterday. He said, "Hey Max, do you want to do some review?" I said, "Yeah, what is it?" "I just got a new phone. Do you want to do a review?" "Okay, what is it?" But seriously though, do you want to do the review or not?" I said, "Yeah, okay, sure." So there we have it. It's a Huawei P20 Pro in, what color is it? So let's talk about the spec first. From the front, you will be able to see the notch design just like the iPhone X does. The front also has a home button slash the touchscreen slash the multitasking buttons. So if you swipe to the left or swipe to the right, you will be able to do different functionality for it. On the side, it's the same thing as a P10 Plus layout basically. There's a power button just near your thumb, and you have to reach a little bit further for the volume up and volume down button. For that being said, on the left hand side of the phone, there's not much of detail regarding to it. Basically, it's just the SIM card tray. On the top of it, still IR blaster is there. On the bottom, well, you still get a USB Type-C just like P10 Plus does. This time around, Huawei decided to put not just 2 lenses, they put 3 lenses in the bag obviously, and that's a really huge highlight of Huawei P20 Pro. And let's talk about the camera first. The camera itself has 3 cameras. The one in the middle is actually the main camera from Huawei, claims that's a 40 megapixel camera. It's RGB, it's regular camera. The second one is a 3x telephoto lens, which is 8 megapixel with the 8 megapixel 3x telephoto lens. So you can do 3x zoom and 5x zoom. 3x zoom is going to give you the optical zoom, basically using that 8 megapixel lens. 5x zoom is going to use a hybrid, so in between digital zoom and the optical zoom to give you lossless image. 20 megapixel monochrome lens also have aperture of 1.6. Let's talk about ISO as well. The ISO can go up all the way to 102,400 ISO. That's equals to Canon 5D Mark IV. And the first thing is I couldn't find it anywhere from the Pro mode. When you go into Pro mode, the highest they can go is 6400 ISO, and there's no way that I can go higher for some reason. Maybe I have to find the way to actually find it. Even it does that, I don't think it's gonna produce a really good quality of the photo as well. So as you know, the regular camera, just like the one that I'm using, which is Sony 6500 right now, even with this bigger sensor, during the night shot with f1.4, the 3200 ISO is the highest I would go with. The maximum, the extreme I would go with is 6400. The ISO on the phone, imagine the way smaller sensor pack on this one compared with the crop sensor that I have right now. It's no brainer, don't go over 3200. I would say with this, go with lower than that, to be honest with you, to give you a better photo. let's talk about night shot. The night shot is one of the main features from Huawei P20 Pro this time. It's gonna take about 4 seconds to finish the shot. During this 4 seconds, it takes several photos, and in the post-production, it makes it into one, so it gives you better exposure and at the same time gives you better clarity. You are not going to get that much of the motion blur even you're using handheld. Of course, if you have a tripod, who wouldn't want to use a tripod to do it? Alright, let's talk about the spec a little bit. The phone itself packs with 6.1-inch display with 1080p resolution. It also has 4000 mAh battery, which means this phone can survive for 2 days in regular use without charging. You don't really see the pixel at all because of low resolution, but in the same time it fulfills with the daily use, and it's actually pretty sharp every single time when you're looking at it. Alright, so let's take a look at the actual limitation of the camera itself. Under the 40 megapixel, which is using the main RGB camera, you cannot do 3 times zoom or 5 hybrid times zoom with it. The second thing I also noticed is actually the RAW format for taking the photos is only supported under the Pro mode. It's not supported with the regular ones. Portrait mode is actually pretty good, but in the same time, actually too much wash out on your face. Apparently, when you turn off the beauty mode, it's gonna still give you beauty mode. When you turn it off, it should be off. When you go 0, it should go 0. But no matter what, when you switch over to portrait, you have no choice, but beauty mode is on as minimum, no matter what. Okay, so get this. Under night mode, you can only use a resolution of 10 megapixel. You can use the 40, you don't have the choices, but only use that. So under the slow mode, there are 2 resolutions you can choose. The first one is 1080p, which is limited to 120 frames per second. The HD, however, which is 720p we're talking about, which you can choose either 240 frames per second or 960 frames per second. Alright, let's move on to the front-facing camera. The facing camera looks like this, but my skin tone, as you can see, is smoothened out automatically with all this AI technology or whatever they call. It's a little bit fake, to be honest with you. My skin looks alright, but at the same time, it's just not natural enough for some reason. So as you can see, is the lighting behind me is actually also pretty good. This one, by the way, is packing 24 megapixel on the front-facing camera. So as you can see, it's supposed to give you a better resolution overall for the front-facing as well, compared with any other phone in the market. Alright, so what do I think about this phone? Since this phone is actually major focusing on the camera, and the camera itself is actually pretty good on the hardware side, I would say you can choose it, but there's some downside as well. First of all, it's way too sharpened on the camera itself, no matter which mode you're shooting for some reason. It doesn't matter, every time when you shoot it, it's gonna tell you, okay, it's gonna take a time to actually sharpen the image sometimes. It just drives me crazy. Sometimes it's just unrealistic when you look at the photo, it's just way too sharp. The second thing is the beauty mode. The beauty mode, the 24 megapixel camera in front, I mean, it's fascinating. It's perfect for people who want to take selfies. But the beauty mode is driving me crazy. If you're a person who likes the beauty mode, I mean, this one is actually for you. Perhaps if you have unbearable pimples all over your faces, maybe then you need this huge amount of beauty mode to look good. Maybe, who knows? But this is not for me. This is for somebody else. I think I'll pass on this. Alright, so that's it for the video. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button if you like my video. Leave a comment if you have questions in the same time regarding to this phone, although I can tell you some limited information regarding to this phone because, well, I have to give it back, I guess. So, yeah. Don't leave the comment this time. Maybe next time, I guess. Alright, so I will see you in the next video. Hello? What? You want this back? My review? I haven't finished my review yet. What are you talking about? It's gonna take another year to finish this.